This may be recording. I really don't know. But I'm going to assume that it is. I was thinking this morning about the kingdom of God. And when you think about the kingdom of God, it's hard to think about the kingdom of God without thinking about his son who was born years later, a descendant of David. And I don't know, this thing is doing different than it's ever done before, but I hadn't done this lately, and you know how those things change. But anyway, I do know that there is a kingdom where righteousness would dwell. And I was reading this morning where stumbling blocks will be removed. And there are no stumbling blocks in heaven to be removed. The only place that you'll find stumbling blocks are here where we are on earth. And the stumbling blocks will be removed. And there was one that said you don't want to become a stumbling block because it won't be good for stumbling blocks. Now, how could someone possibly become a stumbling block? How about, I think maybe he could become a stumbling block simply by letting Satan influence your words to a certain point, that you became an influence to someone else. And that fits pretty good with the judgment, begins, and you don't want to become a teacher because teachers might incur a stricter judgment or will incur a stricter judgment. There are there are a lot of problems with the way men think. And the way men think, the problem comes from the mind of Satan, the crafty one. And if he can get into your mind and plant a seed, you are in for a, I really don't even know what someone is in for. But you don't want to be growing seeds for Satan. It says there were two sowers in the field, and one sowed good seed, and the other sowed bad. And I don't think the bad seed were necessarily seed that that just didn't come up. If I was planting corn and all the corn I planted was corn seeds and some of the corn seeds didn't come up, I really don't think that's how it works. Bad corn seed just doesn't grow anything. This enemy that's planting something bad will grow something, but it's not worth anything. And I'm just thinking, there was a Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? That I used to hear when I was a child. I'm just not a child anymore. Anyway, we will see. God has a kingdom, all right. And he created a kingdom for man. And it will be an eternal kingdom. And you don't have to worry about David burning up in hell, because he won't. Nor will any other righteous man that God approves of. And I'm not smart enough to go around telling somebody whether they're righteous enough or not. But if they're committing fornication and adultery and are homosexuals, I don't even have to examine them. They've already been examined. There might be brain dead, so to speak, and not believe, the judgment that God has already said concerning those that do those things. So I will say to you, if you were planning on this weekend having a wonderful time drinking and getting drunk and maybe having intercourse with anyone not your wife, and don't come up with, well, my wife, you know, same sexes can marry now. Yeah, same sexes can marry now. But God ain't sanctioning. He won't sanction one next week. He won't sanction one this afternoon. And I would probably suggest if anybody's got papers, saying they've done that, they might want to burn them up and say, I'm sorry, let's get this thing straight. Anyway, I'm finding out today about the new YouTube thing. It may be terrible. I don't know how it's going to work. But I made a video that lasted about 7 minutes. Thank